is a presentation of Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are FC.
The road was not kind to the Royals, but with the help of outstanding pitching performances by Danny Duffy and Yordano Ventura, the Royals finished the trip on a high note. Now it's Edinson Volquez's turn as the Royals come home to Kauffman Stadium, where they'll take a crack at the division-leading Cleveland Indians. Home sweet home. A 7-game homestand begins now. It is indeed great to be back in Kansas City and Kauffman Stadium for Game 1 of a 3-game series between the Cleveland Indians and the Kansas City Royals. Royals baseball is presented by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Hi, everybody. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler with you. The last time we were in town, the Royals were 6 for 6. 6 games, 6 wins. They wanted to continue tonight.
That's right, and after finishing the last series off in Chicago with 2 wins, hey, this is a nice little momentum builder coming in. But Fizz, I like sleep in my own bed too. What the heck? These guys love to play in front of these fans here. It's going to be exciting. Let's see if they can get this first game. That'll be important.
Let's check out the Toyota League leaders, and you'll see their winning percentage is #1 in the American League. And they haven't played that many home games this year.
No, as a matter of fact, they had the least amount of home games played all season. Well, what else is good about this is that they only play Cleveland in Cleveland 3 more games. The rest of them are all right here at the K, a beautiful place.
When we come back, Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery will talk tonight's starter, Edinson Volquez. That's next. Welcome back to Kauffman Stadium for the Indians and Royals Game 1 of this series. Right now, let's check in with Jeff Montgomery, who wants to talk about tonight's starting pitcher, Edinson Volquez.
Yeah, Fizz, we're going to talk about Edinson Volquez, our Honda most trusted player. Now, one thing about Edinson Volquez, he's got a great curveball and a great changeup, but to me, his fastball is really key in setting up those 2 pitches. Hitters hitting 300 against his fastball, but he still has to command that fastball on both sides of the plate to set up these curveballs and these changeups to put hitters hitters away. It's a real key for Edson Volquez. Get ahead of hitters. These Indians walk a lot. Fizz, back up to you.
Thanks, Monty. When we come back, Joel Goldberg talks about the Royals' improvements in the clutch in Chicago. That's next.
Kansas City evening. It's going to be hot all week long. Royals just thrilled to be back home where they have only lost 7 times all year. Joel Goldberg back at Kauffman Stadium. And one thing we did not see much on the road was offense. First game at Cleveland, they scored 4 and then melted down late with some bad defense and lost. And then they went 6 straight games scoring 1 run or less. And things, though, changed in Chicago. As we see in our Kubota power stats, the clutch hitting. First 7 games of the road trip, 4 for 46 with runners in scoring position, and that would account for the losing streak that was up to 8. And then the last 2 games, 6 for 18 with runners in scoring position. The offense starting to come around.
We're swinging the bats. We're scoring runs. We're better offensively right now. We just went through that stretch, that 7-game stretch where really we scored 4 runs in the first game and we scored 3 runs in the next 6. We just couldn't produce any offense. And you just see better at bats. You see more production out of the middle of our lineup. And when that's happening, we will win more games.
And better at bats at key times, although they have not had an extra base hit with runners in scoring position since May 31st. They'll look for more of that tonight. First pitch coming up next.
Cleveland Indians come to town winners of 9 of their last 12 to move into first place in the American League Central.
Yeah, they are, Fizz. Look, and this is a big stretch for the Royals. It's 10-game stretch versus the Central. And so far this year, they're 14-10 against that Central. And last couple of seasons, they've had good numbers within their own division. They got to keep it up.
The Royals and Indians Game 1 with Eddie Volquez on the hill is coming your way next. Fox Sports Kansas City is brought to you by the Missouri Lottery. Every ticket you play gives back to schools across Missouri, so play it forward with the Missouri Lottery. By Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And by your Midwest Ford dealers. Visit us at your MidwestFordDealers.com. Edinson Volquez on the hill looking for win number 6 this year. His ERA is above 4 for the first time in his tenure with Kansas City, Hud, at 4.25.
Well, you know what? He likes to pitch well at home, that's for sure. He's got to be able to get at least 6 innings in if he can with his fastball, curveball, changeup. Hall of Famer, Royals Hall of Famer Jeff Montgomery talked in the segment before we just started here, if you heard. Talking about how he's really got to establish that fastball in order to get those secondary pitches working, the curve and change. All those pitches move down. We'll see if he can handle the drive.
Here's the lineup he'll face. Carlos Santana only 231, but he had 5 hits, Hud, in the Angels series, and 4 of those hits were extra base hits.
Well, hopefully he left that success there at the Big A and we can get underneath his bat. Now he does like to walk a lot. This guy's always in the top 10 in the league in walks, so pitch to him and keep it down. Pitch to contact.
Now it's time for our Golden Oak lending keys to the game.
Pass the baton. That means typically when the Royals get going good, they start competing against each other and amongst each other. The starters, Duffy to Ventura. Now he passes the baton on to Volquez. Get her done. Now Volquez in the Royals starting pitching versus the Tribe this year in 7 games, the ERA is 6.10. Not good. Another one, guard the flag, defend the flag.
Duffy and Ventura were outstanding their last 2 starts, allowing just 2 runs in 13 innings against the White Sox, and struck out 20. And a lot of times that can be contagious. First pitch to Santana, a bit low, ball 1. 12 home runs, 2 in the Angels series. He hasn't done much damage against the Royals this year as far as a batting average.
Nice looking pitch there. Volquez in his last outing against the Birds, the Orioles that is, threw his changeup a season high 33% of the time. I asked his pitching coach Dave Island, was that by design because the Birds are so powerful he wanted to upset their timing, or what that was? He says, well, his curveball wasn't as effective as his changeup, so he stayed with his changeup. But that fastball is the key. It sets up the others.
He retired 13 of the first 14 he faced against the Baltimore Orioles, and then in the 5th it all fell apart.
That is one base runner allowed through the first 4 innings against the powerful Birds, and there's a walk.
And you'll see a lot of those by Carlos Santana, who came into the ball game 6th in the American League with 36 and just received his 37th. How about our forward around the horn defense?
That's right. The Royals middle of the pack as far as errors go. Okay, but now per Fangraphs.com, that's a new defensive run saves graphic. They've saved plus 21 runs. Fuentes, you see him out there in right field. Hopefully he is a big addition out there, not just defensively, but he's going to swing that bat against Carrasco.
Plenty of speed in the outfield with Dyson in left, Kane in center, and Fuentes in right.
And Merrifield's at second base, no Colon.
Witt got the start in left field in the last couple of games, moving to second base. The right-hander on the mound after they faced 3 straight left-handers in that Chicago series.
Now Santana, he's not a typical leadoff hitter as far as steals go. He just has 3 stolen bases, but he's up there at the top of Francona's lineup because he's got a nice high on-base percentage, .335. So he's likes to get out there with a walk or a knock.
.3-0 to Kipnis, and this is not an offense you want to give free passes to because they do have some pretty good power. 71 home runs this year, and Volquez falling behind 3-0.
Another thing that was so good against the Orioles was his tempo, his pacing. He was attacking, he was getting the ball and throwing it. Wasn't taking much time in between pitches. He's in trouble early in this one.
Back-to-back walks to open this ball game, and here come the hot guys: Lindor, Napoli, Ramirez. Francisco has been like Babe Ruth against Kansas City. Check that out, 14 for 27 in 7 games against the Royals.
This kid hasn't shown any weaknesses so far in his game against the Kansas City Royals. He's been good both sides of the plate. Defensively, sparkles. Salvador Perez, little meeting out there with Eddie, saying, hey, we got to get in the strike zone now. Keep it down, use the defense. Maybe he can induce his 8th ground ball double play of the season.
Lindor takes outside, and Volquez really laboring with his command. That one wasn't even close.
Lindor has grounded into 7 double plays.
Finds the outside corner.
Changeup was up in the zone, and Salvi's saying, hey, look, now we got to get that pitch down. That pitch, if it stays out over the middle, it gets hit.
1-2.
Nice. Dave Island was telling me before the game that pitch there, that curveball, that's really a solid pitch for him. He can get ahead with that pitch, first pitch, and also finish hitters off with it.
And that was the pitch he didn't have in Baltimore.
Right. We had a little trouble with that, so it's good to see him get a swing and miss there.
Flips it to left field. In comes Dyson to make the catch. No advance. Volquez did about as good a job as anyone can do in baseball last year with runners in scoring position, Hud. opponents batted just .202, but this year they're hitting over .300. Still, he's a money pitcher, and with the game on the line, we saw him in the postseason really get out of jam after jam after jam.
You know, and hopefully with a lot of the season remaining, he can execute those pitches when he has to. It's a sign of a guy who can bear down.
Here is Mike Napoli, leads the team in RBIs with 45. And Volquez walked the first 2 batters in Cleveland, Hud, and then was able to work out of it with a scoreless first inning. We hope it's deja vu all over again.
Yeah, well, this is, can't be giving him any free passes. Napoli taking a strike. Napoli's grounded into 6 double plays this year. And with Volquez, you know, this is his highest career ERA versus any opponent. So they've been getting to him.
Swing and a miss. Mike Napoli has always been a good clutch hitter throughout his career, but for some reason at Kauffman Stadium, a lot of problems. You wonder if it's the hitting background. This is a big ballpark.
And you know, sometimes it's hard to explain why, but Napoli, he's a good hitter. And he's been carrying the Tribe so far this year, especially at home.
Little inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Sometimes different surroundings, you know, affects the player for whatever reason. And most of the time, they'll tell you, I just don't see the ball well in this park.
And he tried to stay in with that fastball, and Napoli was able to fight it off.
Ball came right back over the middle, and Napoli, he was tardy.
Volquez has gone back-to-back fastballs. Would he consider a curve or a change here?
Yeah, I think a change down and in would be the pitch. There it is. Stayed with it. Now Napoli, excellent low ball hitter.
Santana at second base, Kipnis at first base. 1 out. Well, he went back-to-back fastballs. Now he's gone back-to-back changeups.
Yeah, he's trying to trick him. 21st pitch coming. Fastball, curve, changeup. There's his pitch breakdown. Told you, 33% in his last start, that changeup.
The 8th pitch from Volquez to Napoli coming. Came back with his best fastball at 96 miles an hour. Now Mike has struck out in 11 straight games. He sees more pitches than any player on this field, averaging almost 5 pitches per plate appearance. Popped him up. Salvador Perez, 2 outs.
Okay, nice job by Edinson Volquez, navigating his way through their best hitter. Fastball in on his hands, jammed him. I mean, that's a jam shot. He had Napoli in swing mode, so those are some pitches normally that Napoli doesn't swing at. But with those runners out there in scoring position, he's trying to pick them up. He's a .281 hitter with the runners in scoring position. Now Ramirez is their best hitter with runners in scoring position, hitting behind Napoli. He's hitting .395. This guy sprays the ball around.
And he was terrific in that last series against Kansas City at Progressive Field. 7 base hits. Of course, they swept the Royals coming behind in game 1 and then winning easily in the next 3. Just misses. 2 balls and no strikes.
Jose Ramirez, he's meant a lot to his team. Outside of Mike Napoli, the fact that Brantley's been on the disabled list early this season, this kid has picked up the slack.
(3-0) to Ramirez, and he'll be seeing a lot of time at third base because of the injury to Uribe yesterday and that Angels game. Well, they give him the green light. We shall see. Ball 4, bases are loaded. 3 walks in the inning and 26 pitches thrown by Volquez already.
Yeah, he'll be really fortunate to get out of this without giving up a run. You give him 3 passes like that in the first, looking for trouble. Chisenhall stepping in, 240 hitter with runners in scoring position.
He's been really good at Progressive Field, not so good on the road. 1 for 7 in the Angels series. Strike 1. Boy, that just grazed the outside corner.
Chisenhall, good numbers against Volquez. He'll use that for confidence.
Rolls that one up the middle. Whit Merrifield has it and throws him out. So Volquez gets out of a jam in the first. Bases loaded. 2 out and gets Lonnie Chisenhall. Pairing, he has a base hit in 18 of his 20 starts in his Royals career. He'll lead things off. Escobar will hit second. Hosmer, Kane, Perez, Morales, Fuentes, Cuthbert, and Dyson. And Chesler was the hottest hitter on the road trip.
You better believe it. Be nice to see Cuthbert stay hot and any of his other teammates. Now, you look at these numbers for Carlos Carrasco here at the K. Pretty dominant. Indians record 6-0. ERA down under 3. Strikeouts. Royals not doing much off him, but this year he spent some time with a hamstring injury and he's had just 2 starts, and in those 2 starts he's allowed 7 earned runs and 14 hits in 11 2/3 innings. So he's not the same guy as those numbers showed. They got to jump on him early.
And that was your Academy leaderboard. His last start at Kauffman Stadium was September 25th last year. He threw a 1-hit complete game shutout and had a career high 15 strikeouts. You can put an asterisk next to that because the night before the Royals had clinched, they had celebrated, they had all of the reserves on the field, and Carrasco kind of chewed them up.
Yep. Fastball, slider, curve, changeup. 4 pitches. He'll mix them. Now the league's hitting 340 off of his fastball. That averages 93. But first time around, when the Royals saw him last time in Cleveland, he used mainly fastball slider combinations. And as the game moved on, he worked more fastball changeup combinations.
Merrifield takes a strike. Count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. And in that game, Hud, that was the first start after he came off the disabled list, injuring the hamstring, and they had limited him to 80 pitches, so he went just 5 innings and gave up 3 runs.
Merrifield doing a nice job. Hadn't taken a swing yet. 2-0. Want him to throw a strike. It's almost guaranteed a fastball right here. He will go ahead and turn on it if he's going to throw you one down the middle.
And Witt does and turns on it well, but well foul. He hit that one beyond the upper deck.
Well, when you know that heater's coming, 3-1, sometimes you gear up a little too quick. But that ball was in. I don't know if he'll go with that one again.
Shot to right field, but in comes Chisenhall and misread the ball. It's over his head. Merrifield will not stop at second base. He goes to third with a triple.
Congratulations, Whitley. You have got your first big league 3-bagger. Now, he stayed fastball. He didn't come in with him because he saw him what he did with it. He yanked it. Chisenhall, total whiff. He misread it all the way. Ball had backspin on it. He thought it had topspin on it. And Merrifield says, thank you very much. I needed to fill that 0 spot with my first triple with a head-first dive. A little bit of that Kaufman dirt on his uni. That's always good your first time up. You get some dirt on that uni.
Well, did you know on this date in Royals history, 1975, George Brett hit his first home run at Royals Stadium, and the Royals won that game. So perhaps Merrifield with his first triple as a Royal and at Kauffman Stadium, it will lead to a run, and the Royals hopefully will get win number 1 in this 3-game series. Here is Escobar.
Carrasco, in his start against the Royals last time, fastball looked straight. Merrifield let him know. See if Esky can get him home. Now you want to keep the ball away from the corners, first and third base, because they're playing in. But if you ground ball up the middle, think middle of the field, pick up the early ribby for Volquez.
Volquez flips it to right. That will drop. Royals lead it 1-0.
Alcides Escobar got him a 2-seamer that came in, rode in on him, took a good full swing, but nice to see him knock in a run. Wow, he had a tough road trip, but that's going to help him with confidence, and Edison Volquez with that run. Had to pick him up.
Merrifield's triple leads to their first run, and now it's time for Arcia in the driver's seat. Hosmer and Kane, both good numbers against the Indian starter. Kane 364, Haas at 316. Ball 1.
Carrasco having a tough time getting any confidence going here, and that's what they want. He looks like a little frustrated out there on that mound, and this is the inning where a lot of pitchers struggle to find what they've got that particular night.
How aggressive will the Royals be on the bases? Escobar does not go, and a swing and a miss on a changeup. Terry Francona chose not to pitch to Eric Hosmer that often in Cleveland. Haas was 2 for 11, but he walked him 4 times and worked around him whenever there were men on base, and first was open.
First swing Haas took was trying to pull it. Haas has shown the ability this season and what looks like could be his best season, utilizing the whole field. Most left-handed power hitters like to pull the ball for their power. Haas has extreme pop to dead center and left center. They'll show you. That's what we're talking about right there. More hits to left field than right field. And most guys try to pull the ball. Tells you why he's hitting for a high average.
Eske goes, pitch taken, throw to second base. They got him.
We were just going to show you the Indians defense, and we were going to tell you about Yan Gomes throwing out close to 30% of runners, but I could tell you Lindor made this play here. The pick in quick hands. I mean, he picked that ball and got that tag on Escobar in a heartbeat. He knows right where to put it, try to get it down in front of that base. And Yan Gomes helping Carrasco. Anything close to 30% is an excellent mark for a catcher in throwing percentage.
Well, they choose not to pitch to Eric Hosmer. He walks. Here's a look at that Cleveland defense, which has made 34 errors this year.
They have, Fizz. That's middle of the pack, along with the Royals as far as errors. But nowadays, there's a different graphic that, for FanGraphs that show you a little bit different. Now, the Indians are -17 defensive run saves. That's 25th in Major League Baseball. So, well, there's different ways to read defenses now. They're still a much better defense than they were a couple of years ago, where they were last in the majors.
Here is Lorenzo Cain. He's hit cleanup his last 3 games, and the first pitch is in there for a strike. Yet to homer or drive in a run against Cleveland this year, and the Royals have lost 6 of 7 to the Tribe. I was in conversation with Mike Napoli over at first.
A lot of fastball sliders from Carrasco.
In there, strike 3 call.
A little bit of good 2-seam run on that one. Lorenzo Cain saying, okay, look, if you give that to Volquez, we'll be okay, but that's a ball. Give it both ways, we'll be all right. He didn't want to go. I don't blame him.
Fans, in today's game, we are participating in the home run challenge. Today, every Royals home run in this game raises $4,400 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. And Salvi has hit 2 home runs in his last 4 games. And he goes after the changeup and misses, strike 1. 7 hits his last 4 games, with 2 of them leaving the yard. And that one's roped to center field, so Perez is on. Hosmer must stop at second base.
We'll show you a replay of that from the center field camera. We might be able to check it out here, but we just want to show you the head position. Whenever a hitter hits the ball right back up the middle, his head position is always right down on the ball. You can see it right there. That ball was on the outer half of the plate. He didn't try to pull it. He just wants to serve it out there. See the head position? Excellent job. Keep the line moving. See if Morales can pick up Hosmer. He's a .265 hitter this year with a runner at second base and beyond.
Here is Kendrys Morales. 2 for 11 in the Chicago series, including a home run over the right field fence at the Cell. He pulls that one to the right side. Easy play for Kipnis. Morales is out, but the Royals score a run on 3 hits in the first inning. Merrifield with a triple. Eske knocks him in. Ghost hoping that Edinson Volquez can find that strike zone in this second inning. But the Royals are 17-3 when leading entering the second inning. Volquez loaded the bases with 3 walks in the top of the first, but got out of it by getting Chisenhall on a grounder to second.
Well, that run will help him. So he can get into that strike zone. You never want to give him those free passes because they come out back and haunt you.
Fouled off Yan Gomes. And Dave Island has said that Eddie has a tendency to drift a little bit in his delivery.
And when he drifts, especially with his lower half, his arm drags behind. And so he's been working with Edison over the last 2 seasons here about separating over the rubber with his hands, breaking his hands and being able to have that timing right so his arm goes in the right slot. When you drift, your arm lags behind. Leave it up in the zone, it gets hit. And you know why it gets hit, Fizz? Because they get paid to put those balls in play. And they see dollar signs, those hitters, when they see that ball elevated. And Salvi takes one off the back of the leg. That's a stinger.
He almost got an Uribe.
You don't want to see those anymore.
Volquez strikes out Yan Gomes, so 1 down here in the second.
Two-seamer. You can see as it left his hands, that super slow motion camera, which is a beautiful thing. It lets you see how he's holding it and what that ball does when you hold the 2 seams. It has running action into the righty away from the lefty.
Now a young pest facing the Royals, Tyler Naquin. Now we remember him as a Big 12 Player of the Year in 2012 at Texas A&M and a first-round pick by these Cleveland Indians. But here is a guy who had no home runs entering that series in Cleveland against KC, and not only hit his first but hit 3 in the series and now has 4 for the season. Strike in there, 1-1.
On this current road trip, though, he's come back to earth. He's just 3 for 15. But the Royals got him going.
To the right side, Merrifield there. 2 out. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, to look forward to Miller Time later in today's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Happy birthday to you. How about that hat? Mom, you did a great job designing that. Beauty.
Styling.
Look at those candles, still lit. All she wants for her birthday is a Royals victory.
Tell you what, for a Monday night crowd, it's looking good.
Yeah, we had showers about an hour before the game, an hour and a half, I should say. But it was just a quick shower that left. Ground ball right side, Merrifield, and Volquez, after a wobbly first inning, throws only 9 pitches to get 3 outs in the second. City, the Royals with a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the second inning of play. Raymond Fuentes will lead things off. He had a terrific trip, going 6 for 12. This left-handed batter came up from the minor leagues, Hud, and he just immediately hit line drives all over Progressive Field.
Well, one of the reasons he's got such a pure swing and it's so short and compact is because him and his dad worked on it tirelessly.
And there's another line drive off the bat of Ray Fuentes.
He doesn't do anything wrong. He doesn't have any unnecessary movement. His bat head is at a good flat angle, and he just takes his hands right through the zone the same time every swing. Watch him. Couldn't freeze it right there, but see, his bat angle was at the side like that, but he hits off of that front side, and he's got tremendous balance. Stayed on top of the ball. 300 swings a day his dad would take with him in the cage.
Yeah, the fathers were with us in this last road trip, and Pedro came up from Puerto Rico to see his son play, and Ray he had a fantastic spring training. I mean, he was the player of spring training, the most consistent of any Royal, but his dad was so proud of him, and as you talked about, 300 swings a day. He was a first-round pick by the Boston Red Sox, then moved to San Diego, and now at the Royals.
I didn't get a chance to see him very much in the spring because we don't televise a lot of games, but when he came up here, I liked what I saw right away. Not just his swings, but he's got good speed and he hustles. aggressive player.
Now Cuthbert, who had a terrific series against the Chicago White Sox, including his first multi-home run game of his career. Fuentes dives back safely. He has attempted 2 stolen bases and been thrown out both times.
Fuentes hasn't stolen a base yet this year. He's been caught twice. He will run, and there's the master teacher right there. Rusty Kuntz giving him tips on what to look for as Rusty shows up like the rest of his coaching partners 3, 4, 5 hours before the game, studying film, studying tape on the pitcher. Rusty knows all of the pitcher's tendencies. We know he's got quick feet. He's got a pretty good move. Ouch. Oops, that hurt. Off his knee.
We've seen that this year by Lorenzo Cain, fouling it both off the inside and outside part of the knee, and Chesler got it right off the front of his knee.
That's his back leg too. You know, typically when that happens, it's not a good pitch. It's way in, way in. That ball was running in. Carrasco dropped down and changed his arm angle on that pitch too. Pitcher starts changing the arm angle on you. That presents its own set of difficulties. The ball runs in more. A little bit tougher for a righty to pick it up and keep that front side in.
And it seemed like Carrasco had his mind made up, and he didn't like the signs that Gomez was throwing down, and now he fires over to first base.
I guarantee you Mr. Fuentes is watching back home, Puerto Rico. He says he never misses a game.
Chesler is still using that Eric Hosmer bat. That's the bat Haas loaned him on Saturday, and he belted 2 home runs.
We got to show you a little flashback of a career game so far for Cuthbert. First multi-home run game in his career. This ball was just a nice byproduct of a good level swing. He caught it. Now this one here was special. So off-speed pitch that almost bounced on the ground, but he got up underneath it and had some good backspin on it. Brought smiles to everybody's face.
Carrasco's got a pretty good move.
He's got quick feet.
That's back up the middle. Fuentes turns second, holds there. Naquin has a terrific arm in center field, and Mike Jerschley knew that.
Right, he doesn't have an outfield assist yet, but he throws well. Chisenhall has a couple assists in right field. Rajai Davis has 6 in left, and this pitch is hit right where it should have been hit. 94 miles an hour, right back up at him. Fuentes thought about going, but there's no need with nobody out. Why you want to take a chance of getting hit at first, and his teammates love it. Look at Moose. Moose is in there.
Are you expecting Dyson to bunt?
Now, we've seen a lot of sacrifices lately. One thing we know about this Royals team is that Ned trusts the players. So sometimes he doesn't put the sign on. They do it on their own, but we'll see what Dyson does. Ramirez is playing in at third. He thinks he might.
Oh, barely getting back in time was Ray Fuentes. He got off the bag by a long way, and Gomez, if he has a perfect throw, gets him.
That's the pitch you get picked off the most on. When a guy sacrifice bunts, he bunts through it or he pulls it back because you're trying to get a little extra lead up there at second base. A lot of guys get caught there. Yan Gomes, strong arm, look at a quick release. And that's right where he wants it. Lindor almost got it. You got to hang on to that bag. Don't let your momentum. Now watch his other hand. He's going to slip it in there.
Yan Gomes with a 28% throw-out percentage this year. He has a couple of pickoffs. And Dyson unable to get the bunt down. Now he has 2 strikes against a strikeout pitcher, Carlos Carrasco. Carrasco still trying to find his rhythm this year, but last year struck out 216 on only 183 and 2/3 innings.
Well, you know, Gerard has 4 sacrifice bunts this year, but it didn't work, and especially against the fastball. That's the toughest pitch to get down, especially in the mid-90s range. Tough to get on top of it. Now he'll have to protect.
Try to come inside with the off speed.
Gerard Dyson they throw high fastballs to him. He tries to stroke that ball to left field and center, and you can see there what he's using the big part of the field. That's smart. He tries to stay on top of it to utilize his speed. That's the first spray chart I've seen on him this year, but I had an idea he's using the big part of the field. 12 hits gone up the middle.
And you can see that outfield shifted all the way around towards the left field line. Swings and misses at the slider and strikes out.
That's a great spot to put it.
So now Merrifield, who tripled his first time up, steps to the plate. He has 5 RBIs this year.
He tripled with a lot of help from Lonnie Chisenhall in right, who misjudged it.
Fouled off, strike 1.
You know, the hardest thing for an outfielder to do when he catches the ball on a line drive is to pick up the spin. Does it have top spin or bottom spin? So he comes crashing in, and he just misread it, played it into a triple. And that was Merrifield's first one in his career.
And Lonnie, a converted third baseman, moving to right field, but they love the adjustment that he has made. And he sports an Alex Gordon-like arm in right.
Witt's been picking up his average with runners in scoring position for most of the season. He's been a table setter. He's hit under 200. But now he's hitting 211, so little by little he's starting to drive them in.
Had 3 hits yesterday and his 9th double of the season. Two on, 1 out. Almost got him on the jersey.
For the team. Take one for the team. 2-seamer riding in high. Go ahead and get some of that jersey. Just missed. I mean, like fraction of an inch. Normally when you come inside like that on the hitter, you're going to work him away next pitch.
Merrifield skies it in the air, right center field. Naquin going back, and they collide. But catching the baseball as Tyler Naquin. Fuentes turns third, will hold there.
Whit Merrifield had a lot more pop on that one. It looked like off the bat it might be just a little fly ball, but the outfielders both running full speed. Hard to hear each other with the crowd out there in right center. And Chisenhall might have taken the worst of it. Merrifield with a nice little one-hand takeoff swing, had some carry on the ball. Both hitters, or both fielders, looking up at the ball. And they're fortunate that they were able to hang on, or that would have cost Carrasco another run.
Chisenhall able to hold on, get it back, and they were thinking of sending Ray Fuentes, but Mike Jersley, watching Chisenhall's throw being gathered in by the cutoff man. So now first and third with 2 out for Escobar, who dropped a base hit into right field to drive in Merrifield in the first.
You know, Naquin, he's new center fielder this year, so they haven't had a lot of time to play next to one another, and sometimes it takes a little bit of time. It takes a year, maybe 2 years, to get to know each other.
In the air left side, Rajai Davis makes the catch. The Royals leave 2. We head to the third inning. KC by 1. Kansas City, the Royals with a 1-0 lead. Steve Physioc, Rex Hudler, and we're joined by Julia Irene Kaufman, who has made a very generous donation, $1 million to the Youth Urban Academy, the Urban Youth Academy here in Kansas City. And Julia, your father was all about education. Can you talk about the program?
Well, I can talk about it, but we're very excited to be giving this $1 million to the Urban Youth Academy. And I must add that my mother's foundation, the Muriel McBrien Kaufman Foundation, has also given $1 million. So it's really nice that each of their foundations have contributed. We're really thrilled with this.
And
yeah.
Hud?
Mrs. Kaufman, your dad would have been 100 years old this year.
Absolutely.
What does the Royals have they meant for him and your family?
Well, the Royals have been very special to my family. My father took ill, and he was told to relax and get a hobby. And that's how we ended up with the baseball team. My mother said, well, why don't you buy the Kansas City team? Because Charlie Finley had taken the athletics out of town. So that's how we ended up with baseball. And, of course, it became so special. And he enjoyed it so much that we're just really thrilled to be carrying on the tradition with the Glass family.
Right now, Eddie Volquez with a comebacker to the mound, and they record the first out here in inning number 3. I want to ask you about Mr. Kaufman's love of education and the Kaufman Scholars Program that has seen 102 kids graduate to college.
It is a wonderful program. It started out as Project Choice, and then the name changed to Kaufman Scholars. And we're thrilled with our group of graduates. They did a wonderful job tonight, certainly throwing out the first ball, I thought.
Oh, it was a strike at the knees.
It was perfect, wasn't it?
Oh, I loved it. And it was nice that they got a picture with you, and the fact that you're here at this beautiful ballpark. There it was. Right there. Slugger was there to make the call.
Well, one of the things that I thought, oop.
Yep.
Kipnis with a drive to right. Fuentes going back and reaches up, can't grab the baseball, and Kipnis will stop at second base with a 1-out double.
Well, one of the things I wanted to say was Mr. Kaufman's birthday, his 100th birthday. The reason we're celebrating it is because he loved his birthday so much. He would begin reminding you in May, don't forget about my birthday. Don't forget to get me a present.
Nice.
And he would start the day with a cake. He would go to the office, there'd be a cake. There'd be cakes all day long. So we felt that this would be something fun for the students, for our foundation, to celebrate his birthday because he enjoyed it so much.
And isn't today the beginning of 100 days before the day he would have turned 100?
100-day countdown. Yes, that's right.
Well, he's done so much for the entire Kansas City community. And he was a person who believed that giving and receiving were the same.
Absolutely. He taught me that it's better to give than to receive, and that if you give, it'll come back tenfold. I think he's right.
Now Francisco Lindor.
You know, getting a chance to read Art Stewart's book, The Art of Scouting, he talks a lot about your father and how he lured him from the Yankees because he knew that they had to get some players here so they could win and they could turn this young franchise into a winner, and they did that.
With Lou Piniella, our first Rookie of the Year, if you remember.
Right. That's awesome.
Lindor with a swing and a miss. And Eddie Volquez gets a key strikeout with a runner in scoring position here. Well, the Urban Youth Academy is very important to the Glass family, to Dayton Moore, to your family as well. And they had the groundbreaking ceremony earlier this year, and it's just a fantastic program. And Rob Manfred, the commissioner of baseball, said it is the model of what we want to do throughout America.
Well, I think this is up. Dayton Moore's done an awful lot for this, and he's really set this institution apart, I feel, and has really been marvelous about raising money too.
Strike now to Mike Napoli.
Mrs. Kaufman, last season.
Please call me Julia.
Okay, Julia. That last season was so exciting for the Royals, and I remember going to the radio side, and you would sit up there with Denny, and you were sitting on the ground, and I kept wondering what a woman of your stature sitting on the ground, but you were a little bit superstitious and nervous, weren't you?
I'm very superstitious. I feel I'm bad luck for them, so I try not to watch, and we just seem to do better when I don't watch.
I'll never forget that. Way to go. But you're showing the beautiful ring that the Glass family put out, and
my beautiful pendant.
Yeah, the jewelry's just beautiful, isn't it?
It's fabulous.
Isn't it fun showing it off?
I feel so privileged to have 3 beautiful rings.
Here's a ground ball to Alcides Escobar. They get Mike Napoli. Well, Julia, Irene Kaufman, thanks so much for dropping by and the great work that your family has done for this entire community.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you for coming.
Rex.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Baseball is brought to you by Chevy. Visit your local Kansas City area Chevy dealer for great prices on the all-new 2016 Malibu. By Panera Bread, food as it should be, with 24 Kansas City metro locations. And by Academy Sports and Outdoors, right stuff, low price, every day. We head to the bottom of the third inning. The Royals with a 1-0 lead, and Volquez pitching well in two difficult jams. One with the bases loaded in the first inning, and he got out of it. Then after a 1-out double by Jason Kipnis, he struck out Lindor and got Napoli on a ground out. Here is Hosmer.
Well, obviously, Brad Mills is the infield instructor for the Cleveland Indians. And we showed you the spray chart for Hosmer, how he had more hits to left. Well, so they just moved Ramirez over there from third base and they put him in the hole. But these guys are all pretty much stationary right here. They call that playing him straight up outside of the third baseman. They're trying to take that hole away. No drastic pull for Haas. And they know. Some teams try it. It's a calculated gamble.
A swing and a foul tip into the glove, and a strikeout of Eric Hosmer. So Lorenzo Cain will work against Carrasco here in the third.
Hey, man, a good pitch there. That's a breaking ball down. It started up. Haas looked like he could have turned on it, but he missed it.
Carrasco was able to work Cain inside and struck him out looking. That's up the middle, but fielded by Kipnis. He had him play perfectly. 2 out.
Just in case you were wondering, you want to know what the hitters have done first, second, third time through. There they are. Second time through, the Royals now are in. And Carrasco is matching those numbers so far, 167. Third time through, that's the best.
Perez singled up the middle in the first. Carrasco's last start was Wednesday at Seattle. Lost that game 5-0. Gave up 4 runs in 6 2/3. And he gets Perez out in front on the changeup. But talking with their personnel, they said he only made 2 mistakes, and both were blasted for home runs by Chris Iannetta, the Seattle catcher. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Hit sharply and knocked down by Francisco Lindor, but it's a base hit for Salvador Perez.
Lindor, he looked like he was going to barehand that and throw out Salvi. That's how talented this young man is. That's a well-struck baseball. Get the leather. I'm going with the bare hand. And had he able to hold on in his arm, he might have gotten Salvi.
Salvi stays hot. He has 9 hits in his last 5 games. The Royals really need the guy at the plate to come through, as Carrasco was able to get him out on a pitch that was down low below the strike zone.
And he's trying to pull it.
And because of that, they'll send 3 infielders on the right side with Kipnis in shallow right. They give him about 70 feet on the left side of the diamond. Just out of curiosity, Hud, you came up as a shortstop, but if you're a shortstop your entire career and then you're asked all the time to move from short to the second base side, does that throw a shortstop off who's usually receiving the ball from a certain?
No, because this kid Ramirez here, a shortstop, like you just said, those are the best athletes on the field, and they can adapt to any position. Nice.
There you go. Morales down that left field line. Perez will stop at second. Take what the defense gives you.
That's right. And you know, you have to be able to see the ball out of the release point and then make the adjustments. Your eyes tell your hands what to do. So obviously he went away. Morales stepped in the bucket, but he's able to get a booty knock by keeping his head on the ball, and his backside fell out. That's why we call it that. Now freeze it right there. You can hold it. Yeah, that's okay. But look, he went the other way because he was thinking that way. He was off balance, but his head position was perfect. If you pull your head, you miss it. You can't see it. That's why we talk about the head position. It's so important when you're going to the opposite field. You got to stay with it when you get fooled.
Ray Fuentes up. He takes upstairs, ball one. The Royals have had 8 base runners, but they've scored just the 1 run. A triple by Merrifield, followed by the Escobar single in the first. Two and 0.
Fuentes, with that nice stroke he put out there in his first at bat, pulled him with a hit speed 101 off his bat. It's got Carrasco's attention. He's being a little bit careful with him. He can't miss out over the middle. He knows he's going to get hit hard.
And Ray 3 for 6 with runners in scoring position. Strike call. Ray thought it was a ball.
Perfect pitch. You don't want that one. You don't want to swing at it. That's an out. If he does make contact with it. Good location.
Was more to his liking.
Yeah, but it was a good location. It was down and the pitch was moving down, so he hit the top of it.
Ray has been outstanding against Cleveland this year. He was called up for that series. Three balls, 2 strikes.
3-2. He's looking for a mistake. Carrasco wants to make the perfect pitch. Sometimes when you aim that ball and you try to make that perfect pitch, you miss by a couple inches. That's what he'll be looking for.
Swings and misses at the changeup and strikes out. So the Royals have left 6 base runners in the first 3 innings of this one.
That was a good pitch. He really pitched him tough.
Royals. Kansas City leading Cleveland 1-0. And Royals fans, it's time to vote for your All-Stars. You can vote up to 35 times for your Royals online. Vote at Royals.com on your computer, tablet, and smartphone. Remember to vote and vote often for your Royals. Vote at Royals.com/vote. Hosmer leads at first base. Perez leads at the catching position, and Lorenzo Cain in center field, and that one's hit to right field. And right on cue, All-Star leading center fielder Lorenzo Cain makes the catch. Time for our sprint trivia question. Who is the only player with more games at shortstop than Alcides Escobar since 2011? Did he used to play for the White Sox?
Possible. It's a good guess. If you're doing Alexei Ramirez, that's a good guess.
Well, he plays like every day, never is hurt.
Right.
Esky's never hurt.
It's a good guess.
Breaking ball taken low by Lonnie Chisenhall, who grounded out with the bases loaded back in the first. Indians in first place by 3 games over Detroit and Kansas City. Chisenhall waves at that offering. Three and 2. Volquez is retired 8 of 9 after that rough first inning when he walked 3 of the first 5 batters he faced. Ooh. Tried to go with the breaking ball but missed badly to Chisenhall. So that's the 4th walk for Eddie, the first since the first inning. He's thrown 58 pitches, and right now in the 4th inning with 1 out. Both pitchers have thrown a lot. Salazar 55 through his 3. And now Yan Gomes, who's been going through a difficult time, just 4 hits in his last 35 at bats. Perhaps if he keeps it down, gets that good sinker over, he could get 2 outs on 1 pitch. And instead, he comes too far inside and hits Gomes in the back.
Trying to get ahead with a 2-seam fastball, and he missed it, hit him in the elbow.
Now Tyler Naquin with 2 on, 1 out. Royals leading 1-0.
That's just the 2nd hitter he's plunked all year.
Strike 1.
Naquin hit a homer off Volquez the last time he faced him. Now, was that his first career home run, Fizz? Off of Volquez, or was it the second?
He hit his first off of the Royals and then hit 2 more, but I wasn't sure which game it was because he was a monster in all 4 games of that series.
3.
Here's a ground ball, second. They get 1. Escobar. Got him! Francona says not so fast.
Well, Escobar, he has the same amount of miles per hour on his throws as most pitchers, in Volquez at 95. Hosmer tells me that Escobar unloads, he unleashes And he had time there. He got to the bag and plenty of time, got his feet underneath him. And they're going to replay it.
I knew it would be difficult, Hud, because I didn't think the ball was hit that hard. Naquin, a left-handed batter, and is pretty quick. But let's see. They will challenge.
Watch him get on top of this ball here. Oh, I mean to tell you, I believe he got him. Nope.
Oh, I don't think so.
Yep, looked like he might have just beat it.
We did not have a roar from the Royal faithful here at Kauffman Stadium, which usually means the guy was out. But they saw the foot touchdown before the ball hit the back of the glove. It doesn't have to enter the glove. It has to hit the back of the glove.
There's a lot of dialogue going on there between the umpires. You normally don't see them talk during this time. They usually listen to the umpires in New York. I don't know.
Well, they say it's got to be clear and convincing. But right there, it looked like Naquin's foot had touched down before the ball had hit the back of the glove of Hosmer. Safe. So Rajay Davis will come to the plate, and Cleveland will have runners on the corners. And Davis has been very good in this situation this year. .341 with runners in scoring position.
Yeah, he's dangerous because he's an extreme hustler. He runs hard, so anything on the infield chopper he hits is always a tough play at first. He's a veteran. He knows what to do with the bat. But Volquez, he's standing there in between while they're looking at the call again, and he's expecting him to be called safe, so he's thinking about Davis. So he's not saying, oh, I hope we get out of this one. He's keeping his concentration right there.
That's one thing that Volquez can do with Davis, because he struck out 54 times this year in only 199 at bats coming into this game. Pulls it. Escobar to second. Thread over. Good job. Passion for sports. Catherine works hard in all aspects of her life to create more opportunities for girls and women to get involved with sports. And personally, in 2013, she was selected as the starting strong safety for the gold-winning USA women's national football team, accumulating 5 interceptions, Hud, in one game. Did you ever do that? No. This past year, Katie served as the first ever female assistant football coach in the East-West Shrine College All-Star Game. and she is sitting in the Buck O'Neil Legacy seat.
Oh, great to have Catherine here.
There's more, though.
Congratulations.
How about this? Katie is working on the creation of an all-girls baseball league, and this fall will be the 3rd female to coach in the NFL when she coaches the Atlanta Falcons wide receivers during the preseason. Wow. How about that?
Very special.
Congratulations. That's pulled to the left side. Lindor. 1 out. And Royals fans come out to the K tomorrow for T-Shirt Tuesday. The first 10,000 fans through the gates will receive a Keep the Line Moving T-shirt presented by the Kansas City Steak Company. Get to the K early tomorrow and pick up your shirt. Now, for tickets, visit Royals.com/T-Shirt Tuesday.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, I did have 5 interceptions.
No way. Did you really?
In a junior high school flag football game.
Congratulations.
Yeah, but nothing like her.
A junior high school flag football game, you had 5 picks.
Yeah, I just made that up. I was lucky to get on the field.
That's not true. You were recruited by Notre Dame. That's fouled off.
Time to get the leadoff. Leadoff man's not on. We got 1 out, but Dice need to get on base, rip one off, and get some runs here for Volquez.
And I was just thinking, how would Katie defend you? Because fans, I'm not sure if you know this about Rex Hudler, but at one time he held the California high school record for most receptions in one high school football game. Like 22?
That's right, Catherine. Take that.
Fouled off.
No, I'm proud of her. Exciting for her future as a coach in the NFL.
Dyson down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. A little bit outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Detroit, meantime, leading the Chicago White Sox 7-2 in the 4th inning. So James Shields getting knocked around again in his 2nd Sox start. Three and 2 to Dyson. This is our Missouri Lottery pitch tracks.
Yep, that's off the grid. Ball 4, base hit will work.
And Carrasco gets the swing and the miss. Gets his 5th strikeout of the night.
Carrasco, he's been hitting his spots, executing some great pitches, especially Ray Fuentes in that last inning. When they had a runner in scoring position, he made really nice pitches that were located perfectly on them. So he's executing.
Well, they have a lot of confidence in this young right-hander as he comes back from that left hamstring strain. Mickey Callaway, his pitching coach, said that Victor Martinez told him that Carrasco was the best pitcher in the American League. Stuff. And now breaking ball in there to Whit Merrifield, who tripled and scored the only run of the game on Escobar's single in the 1st.
Slider doesn't have a lot of break to it. Almost looks like a cutter. Looks like it's breaking maybe 3 inches.
Oh, and 2. That ball is struck well. Deep left field. That's away back. And Whit Merrifield with his first major league home run.
zeros off the board, hitting his first career triple, and now his first big league homer. You wonder when it was going to happen. And he saw the slider first pitch. It didn't break much, and he got the same pitch. You can see it, just a little bit of a wrinkle right on the inner half. Great head position. Got up underneath it. Congratulations, Whitley.
Mom and Dad back in Advance, North Carolina, smiling ear to ear.
They might have been jumping off the couch like you jumped out of your seat. Yeah, you could tell on contact that ball wasn't coming back over the bullpen.
Now Escobar, and he'll take low. But you love to see those memories. I told you earlier that today's the anniversary of George Brett's first home run at Royal Stadium back in 1975. Whit Merrifield gets his first triple and first home run in the big leagues. And at Kauffman Stadium. Two balls, two strikes. Royals with 2 runs on 8 hits. Indians have no runs on 1 hit. And then Escobar chases a pitch that was not a strike. But here's the home run by Whit Merrifield. First in the bigs.
Right at the Bombardier. We have liftoff.
To Chicago, where the Royals were yesterday for our premier Mazda game break. James Shields, the former Royal, had a rough debut for the White Sox, giving up 7 earned runs last time out, and tonight not much better. Detroit out to a 6-0 lead. He has now given up 9 hits and 7 runs, 6 earned so far in that one. Here at Kauffman Stadium, Royals are up 2-0, and a chance right now to catch up with the Royals' top draft pick of the year, 2nd-round pick, A.J. Puckett, ready already to head out to the minor leagues. What has this day been like for you and your family to come here to Kauffman Stadium and begin your professional career?
It's been a very exciting day. You know, walking around the stadium, and you know, it's beautiful out here, and I've heard nothing but great things about the stadium, about the city, and about the organization itself in Kansas City. So, you know, it's been a pretty crazy day. You know, shaking hands and seeing everybody, and you know, it's been real nice for my parents to come out here, and so it's been a real blessing today.
Things move quickly, and I know seeing so many guys over the years, a lot of them that are on the field right now, like Eric Hosmer. Remember when when he was here with his parents signing. Nice grab in the outfield there. And then suddenly he's here in the major leagues. How much have you dreamt about one day pitching in the majors?
You know, I think a lot of kids have. I mean, I wake up most of the time when I was a kid, you know, from a dream, you know, waking up and, you know, dreaming about pitching in the World Series, Game 7, well, like all other kids do. So, you know, it's one step closer to that dream, you know, and I'm looking forward to going out there and proving myself and just thankful for the opportunity.
Great pitcher at Pepperdine, 45 2/3 straight scoreless innings, which is hard, I think, to do at any level, but aluminum bats, quick out there. Tell us a little bit about your pitching style.
You know, I like to attack the zone. You know, I think my best pitch is my fastball, and, you know, I think a lot of pitchers think that, and it should be. You know, you got to attack the zone with it, and, you know, I was just very fortunate. I got to give a lot of credit to my guys there at Pepperdine. You know, they saved me a couple of times, so, you know, but I try to go out there on the mound and attack the zone and, you know, just let the guys get themselves out. And then if a strikeout happens, yeah, so be it. It's pretty nice, but, you know, just try and get out there and work those quick outs.
All right, at the danger of 2 outs, so we may or may not need to head to a commercial, you've overcome a lot. Brain surgery in high school after a car accident. How were you able to come so far from such a big moment in your life?
You know, just the people in my life, you know, from be it my best friends to my mom and dad or to anyone who knew about it. You know, the support I have back home in Northern California, I could say it's better than anybody else's, but I know a lot of other people have that support as well. You know, I'm just thankful for that opportunity that everybody gives me, and, you know, just they keep me always there.
Well, congratulations, AJ, and it was his mom Brenda's birthday yesterday. They got to celebrate in Kansas City. We're back with more after this.
And Eddie Volquez doing a nice job so far. Carrasco, let's show you. Third time through the order. The Royals are third time through the order right now. You see that number 294. Well, this guy hitting, Eric Hosmer. Third time through when he sees a pitcher. His numbers are really nice. 400. So let's see. Time to add on.
Carrasco has thrown 75 pitches and just now starting the 5th. This is only his 3rd start since coming back from the disabled list, where he had that left hamstring strain.
Oz tried to stay in the shoes that time, but he had a rip.
Hosmer has great numbers at home this year. He's walked and struck out tonight, but 378, 5 home runs, 21 driven in his last 22 home games. 2-2.
Carrasco staying firm with him. Using fastballs right down the middle. He missed it. Haas stepped out of the box and shook his head. Man, I don't normally miss those. He might try to go right back there with it.
Just off the plate.
Try to change up there. This late in the game, Carrasco goes now with the more fastball changeup combinations. Earlier he was going fastball slider.
There's a shot to left. Haas made the adjustment. Third time facing Volquez.
That's right.
Base hit.
Haas going to the spot where he goes to most often. You can see it's a changeup. Looked like a little split finger changeup. It stayed up in the zone and he punished it. Look at that beautiful stroke. Look at the head position on there. Got nice level swing, staying on top of the ball. If he gets underneath it, that ball's out of here.
So Carrasco has walked him, struck him out, and then that third time facing him, Haas gets the single, and now Kane the batter.
You can just add to Hosmer's 400 plus average third time he's faced a pitcher.
Lorenzo is struck out looking and grounded out to second. Check swing in there. 1-1. Kansas City picking things up as a team lately. Their last 6 games, including this one, they've hit 8 home runs and batting close to .290. This could be trouble. Lindor, they get 1. Kipnis turns and they get 2. The Royals at Fox Sports Kansas City are offering a unique way for fans across the Midwest to enjoy a game at Kauffman Stadium. It's the Forever Royal Fan Express. Fans in designated markets will have the opportunity to win a trip to the K. Next stop is Topeka on June 18th. Go to Royals.com/Fan Express for more information. And you've been out there to greet those fans coming in from outside the city.
It's always fun. Those folks are always pumped because they know they're going to be entertained to some great baseball here.
Perez 2 for 2, a single to center, and then went to left field, and Lindor went into shallow left and barehanded it, but was only able to knock it down. High fly ball left. Rajay Davis takes care of it, and the Royals are done in the 5th. We head to number 6. Beautiful sunset here in Kansas City. The Royals lead it 2-0.
hanging on. Largely because Edinson Volquez has taken the baton, passed from Duffy's great outing to Yordano Ventura's great outing. And now Ventura, he's taking the baton and saying, all right, you young guys, I'll show you what I can do. He's pitching to contact. He doesn't have the strikeouts that the other two guys had, but it doesn't matter. Getting outs is the premium. It's all you want.
He has struck out 2, and Duffy, Ventura, Volquez have allowed just 2 runs in the last 18 innings with 22 strikeouts. Now 10 in each of those games by Ventura and Duffy.
This is exactly what Ned Yost wanted. He's seen it many a time. When his team gets on a roll, the starters, it's all revolves around starting pitching, but they start having an internal competition with each other, saying, okay, you were stellar, I'm going to be even better.
He threw 28 pitches in the first inning and then needed only 41 in the next 4.
Still a long way to go in this one.
You got that right. Napoli is 0 for 2. He's popped up and grounded out. In now. Popped him up right side. Merrifield going out, making the catch just in front of Ray Fuentes, and there's 1 out. Well, a University of Kansas injury, or University of Kansas Hospital injury report is about Uribe, who got hit in the groin yesterday, and he was taken out of the ball game, but they were able to interview him today. He was in good spirits, but he will be lost because Napoli and Uribe have really provided veteran leadership to that Cleveland clubhouse that Terry Francona was desperately wanting.
See, yeah, that's a tough injury, no question about it.
So Ramirez will see a lot of time at third. Ball, 1 strike. Back in the dugout. He was talking to the media before the ball game, and they said, you know, what's the most difficult challenge you'll have facing in the future? And he goes, well, no more kids. Oh, he had a sense of humor about getting injured yesterday. Here's the ball struck foul. 2 balls, 2 strikes. But wherever he's gone, teams have won. In San Francisco, the White Sox, he was their shortstop, remember, back in 2005, and the Sox won the World Championship. There's a ground ball to short. Escobar charges and bobbles. I'm not sure if they would have gotten Ramirez, who runs very well.
Yeah, that's a routine play for Escobar. Ball just hopped up on him, got him up on the heel of the glove.
I was watching Ramirez race down the line, and he's awfully close to first, but it is an error charged to Escobar, his 9th.
Yeah, we just misjudged it. He had plenty of time to see the hop. Happens.
Now Chisenhall, who came in 5 for 12 against Volquez, but 0 for 1 in this one, including grounding out with the bases loaded in the first. Strike 1.
Chisenhall is telling himself, I was guessing fastball and I guessed wrong. That's the pitch Dave Island told me before the game that he's hoping was working for Volquez, that curveball, because it keeps him off of a changeup that moves it the other direction, away from the left-handed hitter. So that curveball has a life of its own. Sinks down there.
Just off the glove of Hosmer. Ramirez around second base. He'll hold there. Fuentes throws to the cutoff man, and Escobar will give it back to Volquez with 2 on and 1 out.
Hosmer with quick reaction. He's holding the runner on. Left-handed hitter. Doesn't give you much time at all. He slapped the dirt as he believed he could have caught it. It's a good try. Just off the end of his glove.
Well, Volquez has been able to work out of just about every single crisis in this game. Bases loaded first inning, nobody scored. 2 on in the 4th inning with 1 out, nobody scored. Now Gomes. Ground ball short. This should be 2. 6-4 and a 3 double play.
Steady Eddie getting the double play right when he needed it. Take the baton, Eddie. Yeah, buddy.
Goes with 500 wins. Congratulations to Ned. And the 6th inning, of course, is our Sonic Slam inning. Our contestant is Rich Kamler from Smithville, Missouri. If the Royals hit a home run out of the park in this inning, Rich will win $300. But if the Royals hit a grand slam out of the park, Rich will win $25 grand from Sonic and the Kansas City Royals. Here's Kendrys Morales. Kendrys 1 for 2, and they're defending him the same way they defended him the last time up when he reached out and stroked one down that left field line, Hud.
Yeah, that's a pretty swing too. Set the table up. Anything that's soft and up, he's going to pull. But he's a smart hitter who can make adjustments in each at bat. And if he sees that pitch away, usually with 2 strikes like this situation here, he'll just go with it.
Swings and misses and strikes out. Now it's time for tonight's T-Mobile greater coverage of baseball, and there's a lot been said about Madison Bumgarner wanting to compete in the home run derby. He has 13 career home runs and 400 at bats, but as soon as Madison said, I want to be in there, Jake Arrieta said, well, if he's going to be in, I should be in. And then Wainwright of the Cardinals said, how about me?
Hey,
would you like to watch it?
I'm all for anything that's going to bring fans to the game. Now the home run derby, that's a long marathon of a night. I mean, it takes a lot of hitters, a lot of swings. Now, I would be in favor of it if they could have it on a different night. Have just the own pitchers hit. If fans are interested, so am I. Let the fans talk.
Here is Raymond Fuentes, 1 for 2.
But to have the pitchers and the hitters at the same night, that's too long.
I think what would be more interesting is what position player would pitch best to them. Like, you ask all of the Royals, who would you like to see pitch? And all of them say Escobar.
Oh, well, sure. Now, position player, that's not going to work, though, because they're not trained to do
I know that, but you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Escobar has some nasty stuff when he's warming up at the sideline with Kendrys Morales hitting him on the ankle.
But in a home run derby, it wouldn't be fair, because Esky could throw mid-90s. They like that BP pitcher who likes to just go out there and every day throws gopher balls to those hitters. 55 to 65 miles an hour right down the middle. And, you know, it's amazing to, you know, getting a chance to hit with the fathers the other day, like Ryan, myself, Goldberg. We got a couple of extra hacks. I took 15 swings and I forgot how hard that was and how much it takes out of you. You have to have a lower half of your body, you know, working along with your top half. And when you're taking 60 to 100 swings in front of the world, that's a lot of pressure. Guys get exhausted.
Fuentes 2 for 3. Fans, you can vote for the Royals Player of the Month at one of the 7 Rally House locations in the Kansas City metro area. All participants will be entered to win a majestic prize pack. And Cheslor Cuthbert, certainly one of the hottest hitters on a rough road trip where the Royals went 2-8. But Cheslor did his part, hitting .314 with 3 home runs. And when he switched to Hosmer at bat, he had his first multi-home run game. He is singled and grounded out tonight.
That single went right back up the middle.
They think Fuentes is going to go, and Carrasco has shown some quick feed on pickoff moves earlier when Fuentes was on in the second.
Yeah, you know, doesn't have to steal, but just the fact that they know he can steal will give the fastball to the next hitter here. Get more fastballs. Pitcher wants to get that ball home quicker for Yan Gomes. Carrasco showing a little bit of frustration. Eric Cooper.
Jeff Manship starting to warm down in the Cleveland bullpen as Carrasco is at 95 pitches. Does not go, and the pitch is a little bit low. Good running count of 2 balls and no strikes. Cuthbert had a good rip on a fastball at 94.
That's a 4-seamer. That's designed to go straighter, but we're seeing Carrasco lower his arm angle at times. And when that happens, it just adds a little more deception to the pitch.
Carrasco fights his way back in the count. Fell behind 2-0. Now he has an even count with Cuthbert. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Rusty Kuntz talking with Ray here. Will they run him on a 2-2?
He was talking about the outfielders where they're positioned. He was letting him know on a base hit, be alive to go to third. So easy to read lips, Fizz, especially since you've been in this business as long as I've been able to. I did it as a player, and now as a broadcaster it's even easier. Now you know why, in this modern technology, why pitchers that have a meeting on the mound with the manager or the pitching coach, they always come out and they cover their mouth so no one can read the lips. Rusty was telling Fuentes to be alive to advance to third base on a hit. Outfield's playing deep.
In there, strike 3 called. That is 8 for Carrasco.
Man, that ball's off the plate. I mean, Cuthbert, you know, he stood there in disbelief, shaking his head, going back to the dugout. Ball's 3 inches inside, maybe 4.
Now Dyson, who has struck out twice. Fans, you can hang out with your friends at the K every Wednesday home game for only $10 with your school ID. Plus, enjoy a happy hour special at the Boulevard Grill concession stand as you listen to live local music on the outfield experience stage before the game. Visit Royals.com/student night for the full list of bands and for tickets. This Wednesday night game, Cleveland and KC. Final game of this series, and then we'll welcome in Detroit for 4 starting Thursday. That's hit to the right side. Kipnis has it, and they get the force at second base. So Eddie Volquez, who has been sharp through 6, working out a difficulty.
Giving up 2 hits. Stay hot.
Nothing, just like we promised earlier in the game. It's Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. And Edinson Volquez, he has been terrific at the K this year. In 7 of his 8 home starts, Hud, he has pitched 6 or more innings.
No, he absolutely loves pitching here at the K. And the way he's filling up that strike zone, starting everybody off with fastballs and setting up those nice little curveballs and changeups. He's on top of it.
Faces Naquin here, who reached on a fielder's choice last time up. And Volquez has an excellent ERA at home this year.
Well, he's able to settle in after that first inning when he threw 28 pitches. The next 5, he only threw 54. So he was pitching to contact. He induced 1 ground ball double play. That gives him 8 on the season. And he's at his best, he says, when he's pitching to contact and they're hitting the ball on the ground. He only has 2 strikeouts. That's okay with him. It's all about outs.
He said Ray Searage, when he was back in Pittsburgh, helped get him back to throwing that 2-seam fastball more, trusting it.
Yeah, and
not going for the strikeout as you talked about.
And when you establish that pitch, it just makes that curve and changeup even better.
Naquin tried to check his swing, but he went. And now the count's full 3-2.
In Volquez's second start this season, he went. He's punched out 10. I remember after that talking to him, he said, that's too many strikeouts for me. It takes too many pitches to do that, to strike out all them batters. He says he'd much rather get it out on 3 pitches or 2 pitches.
The separation on his fastball and his changeup has been 10 to 12 miles an hour at times. He struck him out.
Full of confidence, Volquez using that fastball again. Had some late action to it off the plate. Naquin couldn't make contact.
Fought back after falling behind in the count, 3-1. Now Davis. Strike 1.
Edison cruised against the Orioles the first 4 innings, and similar pitches like that last one. Down in the strike zone with a lot of velocity on it. Look at that, perfectly located.
2 outs.
And I guarantee you, when he took the mound today, he said to himself, it's up to me to keep this good thing going here. The Royals are back. They've gotten rid of the virus of losing and making Dave Island happy. But after that first inning, when he walked the bases loaded, it wasn't looking good. But you know, it's those first innings for all pitchers, whether you're young or old, that sometimes seem to struggle.
And the foundation of any team's success always is starting pitching. And the Royals receiving it boatload the last 3 games. 2 against the White Sox. Now starting here with the Cleveland Indians. Volquez shutout baseball for 6 2/3. And here is Santana, who has walked, grounded out, and lined out. You can join us for the annual celebrity softball game presented by Big Slick this Friday before the Royals play the Tigers. And this continues the tradition of having the softball game on the big league field prior to the Royals games. And anyone with a game ticket can watch for free. And Paul Rudd's going to be there, Jason Sudeikis, Rob Riggle, and their other famous friends. Here is Escobar shoveling it to Hosmer. To get Santana. Volquez, how about this, Hud? Duffy, Ventura, Volquez, last 3 starts have allowed 2 runs in 20 innings.
Exactly what the Royals have been waiting for. Somebody to step up. All started by Duffy. Volquez taking the baton.
Dave Island and manager Ned Yost love what they've seen from Eddie Volquez. 7 shutout innings against the first place Tribe. And Whit Merrifield, well, he's our Jeep drive of the game.
Why shouldn't he be? First career home run on a slider that looked like it's just stayed down, and on the inside part of the plate, look at that follow through. Loved the extension that he's able to get with that one-hand takeoff. That's our Jeep drive of the game and a beauty. Congratulations, Whit. First triple and first homer.
So he has upped his average to .333 with 30 hits in his first 90 big league at bats. Jeff Manship is the new pitcher. He's a 6'2" right-hander out of San Antonio, Texas, by way of Notre Dame. 2.95 ERA. He really busted onto the scene well for the Indians in a middle relief role last year. 1-2.
Check out this swing of Merrifield. It's all top hand release. The lead arm extension. You see the lead arm right here? It's extended all the way out. Okay. Now watch him on his follow through. You see him swing. His head's down. We'll watch the follow through. See the side swing on the follow through. Small left leg lift, but that arm, top arm, is released. Gets extension. And you know, I talked with him about that swing. And some of the hits he's gotten so far early in his career he's had 2 hands on the bat. He keeps them, and that's when he goes to right field a little bit more at times. He said he just started doing that this season with the help of his hitting coach and father.
Only the second Royal ever to record his first career triple and home run in the same game. How about that? Well, he rolls one to second. Kipnis there, and just does get Whit at first base. Let's answer our sprint trivia question with Alcides Escobar coming to the plate. Who is the only player with more games at shortstop than Alcides Escobar since 2011?
You guessed it. That's why I didn't throw any more names out there. I knew you hit it.
Well, I don't know. I just said,
well,
thought it was Alexi Ramirez.
And it is. Fizz, you know everything.
No, you know what's funny?
That's a great guess.
I just got scolded by our producer Brian Shapiro, who said, Fizz, thanks for ruining it for our fans. Here's the pitch, and that's a strike to Escobar. Great job by Brian Shapiro tonight, working with Steve Kurtenbach and Dave Holtzman, Sam Abramson, Al Broughton, and our great Fox Sports Kansas City crew. We've had fun the last few years with this team winning. I'm telling you.
That's when you have the most fun.
Yep.
Your team wins. And the Royals, they have players. They have championship players that are.
And you and I listened to the interview, not only that Joel had with A.J. Puckett, but also with Dayton Moore and with Lonnie Goldberg. And I just thought it was really interesting. There's A.J. Puckett, who was the 3rd lowest ERA in the history of the West Coast Conference, 1.27. But here's a swing and a miss by Escobar, and that's the second out. But I'm very interested in the way Dayton Moore shares the wealth, because he had Lonnie Goldberg, the director of scouting, up there, and also an old friend of ours, one of the Royal scouts, Rich Amaral, who signed him. And they were talking about him, and Dayton said Lonnie had told him constantly about AJ's competitiveness, team first mentality, and character, and that's all Royals baseball.
Sure is. And many impressive things that Dayton's done in his 9 years is what it took to build that championship product that we're watching every night. And I really love the fact that you rarely ever hear him say me or I. It's always us and we.
Hosmer is 1 for 2, a walk and a single.
You know, Dayton does such a good job of asking different people in the organization their opinions, even people outside of the organization, broadcasters. He asked us our opinion. Oh, watch out.
Oh man, that went into the Royals dugout. Hope everybody's all right.
Man, you know that's a twirly bird helicopter blade coming in there at that velocity. Renzo Cain hands him the motor stick. And this is going to be a good angle here, folks. And it's Duck City. Ain't no one wanting any of that bat.
And did you see Salvador Perez? Smart of him.
Yep.
He just covered the back of his head in case there was a ricochet.
That's all you can do.
Look at Salvi now. He's the best.
He better put that helmet on. Manship, 88-94 with a sinking fastball. The curve and slider is what's tricking the Royals hitters right now. He's got a changeup.
Last year an 0.92 ERA in 32 games, and that was after the 3 previous years an ERA over 7. But he figured it out last year. Ground ball right side, fielded by Kipnis. That'll do it for the Royals in the 7th. We head to the 8th. Beware of bats and balls leaving the field. Eric Hosmer.
Better believe that.
Baseball is brought to you by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com or your local dealer today. City of Fountains enjoying this one with the Royals leading 2-0. 2 runs, 10 hits. Volquez was outstanding in his 7 innings of work. It was the first time in 10 starts versus Cleveland Volquez has gone 7 innings, and now he gives way to Kelvin Herrera, one of the best setup men in the game.
Better believe it. Herrera and with his 3 pitches he's using now, that plus fastball at 98, changeup at 88 to 90, and that slider he's using very effectively. Opponent's only hitting 214.
And he is facing the meat of the order. He's going to be facing Kipnis, Lindor, and Napoli.
Herrera is fearless, and with his stuff and his 3 pitches, he's going to follow Salvi's lead and stay down in the zone.
This is game 1 of a 7-game homestand, 3 with first place Cleveland, and then Detroit comes to town. Detroit is at Chicago tonight. Last time we checked, they were leading the White Sox and James Shields. The Sox have just fallen on hard times, losing 22 of their last 30 games. Strike 1.
Night to night, it always depends on the pitcher and what kind of stuff he has with his certain pitches. Some pitches don't work for a guy on certain nights, so he has to use more of the other. And the reason in Volquez's last start against the Orioles, he threw 33% changeups. That was a season high for him. Talking with Dave Island about that. He said, you know what, his other pitches weren't working. His fastball was not. It was off. They were hitting it. He couldn't locate it where he wanted it, so he went more changeups. He said, tonight, I hope he's got all three. And Dave was right. Got out of that first inning where he threw all those pitches.
Walked the bases loaded, got out of it. The 0-2. High. Now Kelvin has that wicked slider that he broke in last year, and using it much more this season because he's been able to command it, really get confidence in it. Hit well, deep right field. And gone.
Just a second home run Herrera has given up.
This is our AT&T high-speed replay.
That's four-seamer up, belt high. Talked about that fastball being down is where he wants it, and when it's up, a short, quick swing by Kipnis draws him within one. 8th home run for him.
Now Lindor, who's been kept quiet tonight by Volquez. The Royals starters the last 3 games have allowed just 1 run in 20 innings. Lindor with a fly out, strikeout, and another fly to center field. One ball, 2 strikes. Salvi jogs out to visit with Herrera because it was 2 strikes when Kipnis went deep with the fastball.
Yeah, he made a mistake, left it out over. He stayed short with the swing. You got to credit Kipnis too. I mean, that's not easy to hit a pitch with that velocity. But he had a short, quick swing. He let Herrera provide the velocity on that pitch. It gave him the power, shorten up his swing, and caught it just right.
Emergency hack to stay alive. Two balls, 2 strikes. Herrera was efficient again yesterday, setting the Sox down in order in the 8th on just 9 pitches. Royals won the last 2 games by scores of 4-1 and 3-1. He had Lindor down in the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Do not want to walk this guy who has exceptional speed.
Best pitch is his fastball. Use it.
Ooh, walked him. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Kansas City Royals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Kansas City Royals. Steve Physiak, Rex Hudler, Joe Goldberg, Jeff Montgomery with you at Kauffman Stadium. Royals scored in the 1st and the 4th. Now a tough out in Mike Napoli. Lindor, who is 10 for 11 stealing bases at first. Strike 1.
Herrera just wants to keep his focus on Napoli. Let Salvi worry about Lindor. Salvi's thrown out over 51% of runners this season.
Herrera not on the same page with Salvi, who was dropping the signs, and Herrera was shaking him. One ball, one strike. How do you pitch this guy?
Up. He is a great low ball hitter. He'll go up there off Herrera and look for the changeup because he's confident. He has the great ability to lift those low pitches. I'm gonna stay belt high with him. Take your chances. Excellent low ball hitter. Not quite in Chris Davis's league, the first baseman for the Orioles, as he's a stellar low ball hitter. You can get him out up a lot if you hit your spots. But Napoli can be dangerous. Right there. And he's not getting a pitch.
And Salvi calling time for a visit with Herrera, who's in one of a rare struggles this year. Gave up a leadoff home run to Kipnis, and then after jumping ahead of Francisco Lindor 1 and 2, he lost him with the base on balls. Joakim Soria, meantime, warming down in the Kansas City pen. Lindor goes. Pitch is swung on, pop foul back and out of play. So Herrera was able to get back in the count. And now it's even at 2-2, and a guy who strikes out a lot at the plate in Napoli, who has struck out 88 times this year. Lindor does not go, and Napoli fights it off.
Well, I'll tell you, he just barely just flicked at that just to fight it off. But then again, he's not comfortable upstairs like that. And he knows a lot of pitchers try to get him out there, so he's kind of just protected.
And if he gets a swing and miss on an up fastball, that will give Salvador a better chance to throw out Lindor.
So you're calling a strike him out, throw him out. Let's see, that would work.
He doesn't go. The pitch is swung on and missed. That time he went with the breaking ball, and Napoli was still expecting the fastball.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you have Herrera's weapons, it really makes it tough for a hitter. He's looking fastball all the way, and he threw him the wrinkle and got him off balance. Young and Kennedy admiring the work of Herrera.
They'll be going the next two. Chris tomorrow night against Josh Tomlin, and then Ian on Wednesday facing Corey Kluber. There is a strike now to Jose Ramirez, who's walked, flied out, reached on an error. He has good speed. He'll be tough to double. They chase Lindor back to the bag. You've got the switch hitter right now in Ramirez, and then the left-hander in Chisenhall. Ground ball second. Merrifield. There's one. There's two.
There you go, El Toro. Power through him. Stay with it. Use that defense. Second double play turn tonight.
Watching the Royals lead 2-1. Panera takes us around the league, but first off, how about to Chicago? Told you that James Shields gave up all those runs in a 7-0 lead. The White Sox stormed back in our Premier Mazda game break, and that right there, Deoner Navarro. And so we got a close game, 8-7, as Matt Boyd got rocked. Philadelphia crushes Toronto. Washington, Max Scherzer had a perfect game going for a while, 4-1. Detroit 8-7 right now. Just told you about that. And Minnesota on top early on in Los Angeles. Slugfest, guys, going on there. Here it is the former Royal Jabba Chamberlain.
Either way, Joel, it's a one-run game there. It's a one-run game here. And Jabba Chamberlain was with the Royals last year. Only pitched in 6 games because of injuries. But, boy, he has been terrific for the Indians this year in a brief amount of time because he just coming off a disabled list. And there is a pitch low. He was on the DL from May 22nd until June 7th with an intercostal strain. He's only pitched in 1 game since.
Well, he's good and strong. You can tell by that mid-90s fastball there. He's got a slider and a change to go with it.
And there's the slider. Lorenzo 0 for 3, a strikeout and a pair of groundouts.
Lots of times, you know, you get some time on the DL. It gives you an opportunity to get well, number one, but also to condition your body. And Jabba has been working really hard. Looking forward to this opportunity to get back in their bullpen.
A chopper cut off by the third baseman Ramirez. 1 out. Fans, you can follow the Royals live on your phone and tablet with MLB.com at-bat app. Stay up to the moment with game day, video highlights, StatCast, and more. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Download MLB.com at-bat, the #1 app for live Royals baseball on your phone and tablet. Salvador Perez 2 for 3, a pair of singles. He hit a big home run in the 9th inning yesterday to give Wade Davis a little breathing room. He was able to come in and get his 17th save in that Royals 3-1 win. A bird just left the screen and then flew right in front of Salvador Perez as he was preparing his swing against Chamberlain, and umpire gave him time.
And the bird's hungry. It's looking for something to eat, and comes right in the middle of Jabba taking his signs and doing a little hovering.
Salvi, of course, with a big smile on his face. Outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We remember when Jabba came up with the New York Yankees, as you see Wade Davis warming in the KC bullpen. He was the Yanks' first-round pick in 2006 out of Nebraska and wowed everybody just 1 year later in the dirt. He gave up 1 run in his first 24 major league innings with 34 strikeouts, and all of the tabloids were talking about, should he be the starter, should he be the closer.
Oh well, that's what stirs the game. Bird's hungry. He's waiting for the next moth.
A little bit low. 3-2 count. Jabba teasing Salvador with that slider away.
Well, they know he's likes to swing at those sliders off the plate, but he's just been in a nice little groove here. Coming into this game hitting 281. Now he's hitting 286.
And he cracks one to left for a base hit. 3rd hit of the night for Salvador.
Salvi He's continuing to climb that batting average up close to 290. Finding a hole, waiting for a good pitch. Stayed down on top of it. Pulling the hole. Nothing was better than the four bats he used to get that single yesterday in Chicago. He broke 3 bats.
That's right.
And then his 4th bat, he got the hit, and it broke it too. He went through some lumber. Saw he 10 for his last 20 over the last 5 games.
And Denny Matthews and I on radio were having a conversation where we remember the year Tony Gwynn hit like about 370, 380. Used the same bat all year long.
It's unheard of. Unheard of.
One ball, one strike. Pretty good numbers,
I'll say. Wouldn't that be nice to give Waiter some little insurance?
And if they pitch him away, Kendris took that ball to left field earlier in the game for his only hit. He takes it that way, but he had a great idea. Just a little late with the swing. Because they're giving him 70 feet on that left side.
That swing is going to get him going and give him some more confidence, especially get his average up.
Right now at 205.
Overall, right-handed, he's finding the holes. He's hitting 310. Just 162 from the left side of the plate.
Line out. They don't double off Perez. Good idea by Morales. A reminder, join us for coverage tomorrow of the Indians and Royals game 2 of this series. It will be Chris Young going for KC, Josh Tomlin for Cleveland. Ray Fuentes the batter. He's 2 for 3 in the night. The Royals with 11 hits but only 2 runs. Strike 1. Outfielders are all deep. One and one. Wade Davis will face Chisenhall, Gomes, and Naquin in the 9th. He's ready. And the way Ray's been swinging the bat, we may see him in that starting lineup again tomorrow. He had 6 hits and 12 at bats in the trip and 2 for 3 tonight.
What, you know, Ned Yost, with those injuries that took some of their star players out, he's really relying on some of these younger guys, and tonight they've come through. 11 hits total, 5 by the rookies, Witt, Fuentes, and Cuthbert.
Been a real battle tonight. Game 1 of this series between the first place Indians leading Kansas City and Detroit by 3 games in the Central. Perez with a 1-out hit, then Morales lined out, and Raymond Fuentes with a 2-2 count. Back up the middle, Jabba will take care of Ray, and we will head to the 9th inning, and that means number 17 coming on.
Waiter, take a couple of yellow hammers and some cheese on the side.
And Royals fans, if you can't watch the games on TV, you can now stream games live on your mobile device. Just go to your app store and download the free Fox Sports Go app, log in, and stream the Royals wherever you go. Well, here's one of the best closers in the game in Wade Davis, a 1.16 ERA, 17 for 18 in save opportunities.
Sure does. He gets it done with a 97-mile-an-hour fastball. Four-seamer, this little cutter, and a nice overhand curve.
He was flawless in the 9th inning yesterday, fanning Melky Cabrera and Todd Frazier to end the game and record save number 17. Same number on his jersey. His total ranks 4th in the American League. Zach Britton of Baltimore and Frankie Rodriguez each have 19. And here is Chisenhall to lead things off. He's walked and singled. All one. The Royals play Chisenhall pretty much straight up. They will shade him in the outfield towards left, though. On the infield, pretty straight. 2 balls, no strikes.
Well, earlier in the game, Cooper was given that pitch. Now he's not. Not one of his better nights. Behind the plate.
Two and one.
Chisenhall couldn't wait. He knew he was going to get a fastball, but he didn't realize that that cutter almost acts like a slider. Down and in, it looked good and disappeared.
Yeah, it's one of the hardest cutters in the game. Low 90s.
Sure is, and he is pinpoint with the accuracy.
That's back up the middle and kicked off of the toe of Davis into center field, I believe. I'm told it did not hit him, but from our angle it looked like it kicked right off his toe.
Hit the mouth.
Nope.
Chisenhall stayed on it. Didn't try to do too much. Just tried to put it in play, guided it up the middle. Tribe's got something going.
Well, here is Gomes, who bounced into a 6-4-3 double play to end a threat in the 6th when the Indians had 2 on and only 1 out. Gomes has had good success against Wade. Strike one.
Wade Davis has not pitched 3 consecutive days since September 2014. So this is first time in a long time he's gone 3 in a row.
Right to short. Escobar to Merrifield. To Hosmer. Double play.
And the 31,269 here at the K on a Monday night have witnessed 3 double plays turned. Helps the pitchers in a big way, especially Wade Davis right here. Herrera got a big one too.
One more out. Davis versus Tyler Naquin. Naquin with 4 home runs, all of them in June. Ground ball, Whit Merrifield. This should do it. The Royals beat the Indians in Game 1.
Waiter, check please.
Whit Merrifield, the hitting star, he had a triple, scored a run in the first, then hit his first major league home run in the 4th. That was all the Royals would need, and Casey says a W for us.
Outstanding job again by his starting pitcher Edinson Volquez, setting the tone for the Royals, just like the previous 2 starters, Duffy and Ventura. Now, after the W is put up, time for Young to take the baton from Volquez.
The Royals move a game closer to first place. They're now 2 games back of the Cleveland Indians. Detroit trying to hold off the Chicago White Sox in their contest up at U.S. Cellular Field, but Ned Yost mighty pleased as he gets win number 501 in his terrific Royals career, and he's heading to the clubhouse with a smile on his face.
I'll say he is. Look at the Royals. It's time to defend their flag. And that's how they're doing it. They're doing it with starting pitching, some timely hits. Merrifield, how about that? Fantastic game for Whit.
And Joel Goldberg is with the offensive star of the night.
Well, we're just lately making this the Whit Merrifield show. He gets the job done again tonight with the first career triple, first career home run. The ovation a little bit different than it was in Chicago yesterday with 31,000 plus. But before I ask you about that, I want to ask you about the job of your pitcher Edinson Volquez and all the staff getting those double plays.
Eddie was unreal. He struggled a little bit early, but man, he's a battler, and I'll tell you in a minute.
That was the orange Gatorade. Yes, it is. I know how it goes. Okay. And the chant down in the dugout suite is 2-hit Whit. But back again to the pitchers and getting those key double plays and Volquez tonight.
Eddie was unreal. He struggled early, but man, the guy battles, and he worked his way out of it and had an unbelievable game. And you know, he was untouchable tonight.
When kids are young, they are taught to run hard no matter what. I'm wondering what you were thinking on that triple there, and if it was going to get through Chisenhall or not.
Yeah, I knew I hit it pretty good, and then I saw him break in, so I thought I had a chance to get over his head. And once I got over his head, I knew I was either going to be on third base or Rusty was not going to be happy with me.
All right, so no home run on that one, but you took care of that in the 2 at-bats later. Actually almost had another one with the collision in center field, but tell us about the home run.
I was thinking about bunting. I'm glad I didn't. But yeah, he threw a curveball and left it up, and I got the barrel on it, and it was pretty cool.
Good thing you didn't bunt. Congrats on the first home run. More importantly, the win tonight. Thanks, Whit.
Thanks, Joe.
Whit Merrifield, safe to say, guys, and for good reason, the crowd absolutely loves him.
No question. And the Boulevard Royals Live will come your way with Joel Goldberg and Jeff Montgomery after this ball game. But with Merrifield, very businesslike, getting the Gatorade back, saying, "I'll be right back with you, Joel." And he was.